All right, so it's time to talk about our next application. We are going in this path of complexity. We started talking about SRMAT for Office, but now we are entering into a new application that will show you a different way on how to take advantage of the power of where, of the science of where, of ArcGIS. So this application is called Insights for ArcGIS. And basically, Insights is a new way and an easy to use yet powerful new way to create analytical workflows and to replicate them in different scenarios. Insights is based on workbooks, which is basically where you will create your workflows and then you will deal with pages. Each of these pages will contain one of those workflows. And inside of these pages, you have these cards, specific views where you will do each of the analysis that you are connecting for getting a specific outcome. Insights also is built so you can bring in any data, whether spatial or non-spatial. This data can come from different sources, from an Excel spreadsheet to a corporate database like SQL, SAP HANA, Oracle, and so on. So you can transform all that data into insights. One important thing to mention also is that insights comes with standard geographies that will allow you to map your information based on zip codes or based on state names, you name it. And this is really helpful when it comes from dealing with non-spatial data. Also, the analysis workflow that you will find here is very intuitive. You will really intuitive. Oh, eh, eh, la 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 la. All right. Also, when it comes to the analysis, Insights is very intuitive. You will find questions, and then the software will suggest you what are the potential analyses that you can conduct in order to find the answers. And these answers could be shown in different ways. Actually, we have many different ways to show those answers. And even we will allow you to use your own methods so you can really analyze your information. Also, to sum up, actually, Insights, it's a revolutionary tool that changed the traditional way that we do analysis. In a traditional way, you do analysis and then somebody see the results. But in Insights, the analytical process becomes iterative. And while you are refining your analysis, stakeholders can see the results and provide you feedback. So let me show you how this works. Let me show you a really interesting demo. Let's go to our Insights site here. Okay, so this is the Insight environment. The first step that we will take is to create a new workbook. And in this specific workbook, we will start with our workflow. In this case, what we will try to do is to map, track, and distinguish doctors who potentially are overprescribing lidocaine. As some of you know, lidocaine, excuse me, is a drug that is covered by Medicare Part D, which is a healthcare plan subsidized by the federal government, and this drug treats sunburns and insect bites. However, the street dealers have discovered that lidocaine is inexpensive, and they can use it as a curing agent for the more expensive drugs. So, as you can imagine, they are taking advantage of this drug for malpractice. So, we will import an Excel file. Let me go ahead here and to find an Excel. And let me show you how easy it is to import this information. This is information about prescriptions from two different doctors that we are analyzing. So let's start with Washington. I will pull this Excel file here, and very quickly I can add this information into Insights. It's that easy. Then I will enable location, which is basically looking for, uh, let me put here, looking for those fields that contains whether addresses or coordinates or even the names of states or zip codes. In this case, we have coordinates. We run the tool, and quickly I can create a map that shows the distribution of prescriptions across the United States. So this is really interesting. Um, it's clear that most of our prescriptions are in Washington. And this makes sense because the doctor we are investigating is based in Seattle. But what about the prescriptions that are filled in the Southwest, including California, Nevada, and Texas? Well, those concentrations can be explained by the dual state retires or retires. So we can map this easily, and you can see that the most of the prescriptions are filled in Washington. This makes sense because the doctor we are investigating is in Seattle. But what about these prescriptions that are filled in the Southwest, including California, Nevada, and Texas? Well, this behavior can be explained due to the dual state retired people that normally because they have been treated so many years with a specific doctor, they don't change the doctor and they move. So far we are not seeing an unexpected behavior. Let me go ahead here and go to Washington. Actually, I can change the base map to this one that I think will be more meaningful. And then I will start analyzing the prescriptions, in this case by type. So I will create a chart that shows the distribution of prescriptions by type in a form of a tree map. So easily you can see that most of the prescriptions has been lidocaine. And actually what I will do is connect these two elements and also create a heat map that shows the concentration of prescriptions in Washington. And moreover, let me go ahead, I can filter that information by clicking in the chart. So if I click lidocaine, you can see how the behavior change. It's not a huge change, actually it's kind of the overarching same pattern. So far there is no um, really different behavior. So you can see that the lidocaine prescriptions generally appear in the same locations as other Part D drugs. Now, let's create a chart that shows us the total cost involved in these prescriptions. So let's create type and cost, and let's create a bar chart. So you can see that although there is kind of a lot more lidocaine prescriptions, the cost of lidocaine is very expensive. It's not expensive. And this confirms information that we already know. Lidocaine is an inexpensive, a commonly prescribed drug. And that's why drug dealers are basically taking advantage of that. As a first step, let's explore the temporal patterns. So let's take the year and type also, and let's create a time chart. Um, Sorry, I need to change this instead of year, date. There we go. A time series. So let's go time series. Let's extend this chart. And then if I click here in lidocaine, you can see how um, the time chart is also filtered. And as you can see, the trend lines fall within the same range over the 2 years span, indicating us that there is no sudden suspicious spikes in prescriptions. So, so far so good. I think that this is a very interesting analysis. However, this specific doctor is not showing a strange pattern of prescriptions. Now, here's when it comes the coolest part of insights. You can explore your data, but every one of these steps has been recorded. And actually, if I go here to the model, you can see how each of these steps is completely recorded. So I can save this. I can share this as a model, demo opioids, demo OP, share this, let's say with one of these groups, share. And then if I create a different model, a different page, I can import that model. Let's put here demo. We have here the demo in model, demo opioids, add, and then I can add a new data set. So let's add our data set related to Florida. Add the Florida data set, update this model with the Florida table, update the fields that are geocoding this information, and in less than 1 minute, we have the whole analysis for Florida already deployed. So let's check this specific doctor that is based in Florida. So if I click here to lidocaine, you will see that there is a weird pattern in terms of spatial behavior because let me change again the map here. We need the labels to see the cities. Okay, so if we analyze this information here, you will see that lidocaine prescription hotspots generally appeared in irregular locations in comparison with other opioid drugs. So most of the drugs are filled in main cities, but in lidocaine, we have even places that are not that populated. In terms of the cost chart, you will see that lidocaine overcome by far the cost or the amount of money spent in this for this specific doctor. And also, if we go here, let me filter lidocaine. There is a sudden spike on prescriptions for this specific doctor after March 2017. So there are many suspicious hints here that will allow me to basically make the case and ask for more investigation, for a specific investigation for this specific doctor. So you can see how even I can compare, let's say if I want to double check, this is March 2017, you can see here, March 2017. I can go here to the other doctor, explore March 2017, which is here. And if I compare these two graphs, there is no reason or there is not overarching spike across the nation. This is a irregular behavior. So based on this information revealed by the team series and all the insights that we are getting, we can really take better decisions. Thank you very much.